Gautam Adani, the Indian businessman who has risen rapidly up the wealth rankings this year, has just surpassed Jeff Bezos to become the world's second richest person. Adani has left the entire world speechless with his success. So how did this happen and what are the details? Don't worry, we'll be answering all your questions. Just keep watching the video to find out all the deets. First up, the Indian tycoon surpasses Jeff Bezos. Adani, who began the year at 14 on the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, now has wealth worth US $146.8 billion, behind Elon Musk's US $263.9 billion. Shares of his flagship Adani Enterprises Ltd hit a new high this week, while several of his group companies have increased by more than 1,000% since 2020. Bezos beat Adani by only $19 million after a renewed tech sell-off rocked the fortunes of the wealthiest Americans on Friday. The shift in wealth rankings could be transitory and is mostly dependent on Amazon.com Incorporated shares, which are down 26% this year. Adani beat India's Mukesh Ambani as the richest Asian in February, becoming a billionaire in April, and he now has eclipsed Bill Gates and Francis Bernard Arnault. It's the first time someone from Asia has ranked so high in the wealth index. The thing is that it was previously dominated by US IT entrepreneurs. Moving on, how did Adani even get here and some other details? Adani, 60, dropped out of college in the early 1980s to try his luck in Mumbai's diamond industry before moving on to coal and ports. Since then, his company has grown into everything from airports to data centers, cement, media, and green energy. He focuses on industries that Prime Minister Narendra Modi sees as critical to India's long-term economic aspirations. His empire includes the nation's largest private sector port and airport operators, city gas distributors, and coal miners, as well as the world's largest renewable energy producer. Last year, it committed to invest $70 billion in green power. This is a move that some have criticized as greenwashing, considering that the majority of the group's earnings still come from fossil fuels. Following up, let's talk about the rapid expansion of Gautam's conglomerate. Adani's push into renewables and infrastructure has gained him investments from corporations such as Warburg Pincus and Total Energies SE. This has helped enhance his company's shares as well as his income. This year, he added approximately $70 billion to his fortune, more than anyone else, while many others lost money. His conglomerate's rapid expansion caused Fitch Group unit credit sites to designate some of the company's leverage as elevated in a September assessment. According to the association, member firms have reduced their debt levels. Let's talk about the scrutiny adding to already existing worries. The scrutiny adds to existing concerns about opaque shareholder structures and a lack of analyst coverage. Some Adani Group companies have traded above 700 times earnings, considerably exceeding the valuations of enterprises such as Tesla and Amazon, which are closer to 100 times. Adani's climb comes with a tech sell-off that has depleted Bezos' worth by more than $45 billion since January, after his 2019 divorce from ex-wife Mackenzie Scott, who earned 4% of the e-commerce company. The Amazon founder's net worth as the world's richest person plummeted dramatically. Coming up, Gautam has vowed to donate some money to social causes. The Indian billionaire, who has pledged to donate $7.7 billion to social causes, has also risen in the wealth rankings since several of the top IT entrepreneurs, such as Gates, have increased their donations. Some of the world's most prominent philanthropists, including Bill Gates and Warren Buffett, launched the Giving Pledge Project in 2010 to help close the widening inequality gap. In July, the Microsoft co-founder announced a $20 billion gift to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, which has already received more than $35 billion from Buffett, not to mention others on the list. Musk is the world's richest man, and he's on the top of the list. He co-founded 6 businesses, including the electric vehicle producer Tesla and rocket company SpaceX. Arnault is the co-founder and CEO of the LVMH Group, which includes the brands Louis Vuitton, Christian Dior, Sephora, Dom Perignon, and Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. Bezos is best known for Amazon, the tech giant whose operations encompass e-commerce, cloud computing, streaming, and more. His reign as the world's richest man ended after Musk was enriched by Tesla's amazing stock run in 2020. He also owns Blue Origin, an aerospace company, and the Washington Post. Lastly, Adani is to inject $2.5 billion into the cement company his son will now helm. Gautam Adani will invest $2.5 billion in a cement company and appoint his son to run the newly acquired business. He aspires to expand his infrastructure business, which includes ports, utilities, and power generation, as the world's second richest man. He stated that what makes cement an exciting business is India's headroom for growth, which outpaces that of any other country well beyond 2050. Plus, he claims that his company's diversified industries generate unparalleled connections for the cement industry. According to a stock exchange filing, Ambuja Cement, which Adani Group acquired in May, will issue 477.48 million warrants at $480 318.87 rupees each to Harmonia Trade and Investment. Within 18 months of issuance, each warrant can be converted into one share. Mr. Adani was named chairman of Ambuja Cement's board of directors. Gautam Adani, his oldest son, will be a director on the boards of both Ambuja Cements and ACC, as well as the chairman of ACC. The ports-to-power conglomerate rose from obscurity to become India's second-largest cement maker, after purchasing the two companies from Switzerland's Hokum in May for $10.5 billion. Mr. Adani's largest acquisition to date, the Tycoons Group now has an installed production capacity of 67.5 million tons per year as a result of the acquisition. The recent announcements demonstrate that the entrepreneur is transforming cement units into a development engine for his company. Now on to some other news. First off, Andrew Forrest involved in Rugby Australia private equity talks. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, Australia's richest man, Andrew Forrest, is in talks with investors including Silver Lake, CVC Capital Partners, and Bruin Sport Capital about obtaining a share in Rugby Australia's commercial operation. A deal for minority ownership in the company is expected to be concluded within 6 to 9 months. According to the Sport, Forrest collaborated with Bruin and CVC during the negotiations, according to sources who spoke on the condition of anonymity because the conversations are classified. Forrest business Tadarong, which funds the Perth-based Super Rugby team Western Force, is interested in obtaining a share in Rugby Australia. Rugby Australia chairman Hamish McLennan and Tadarong both declined to comment. Rugby Australia announced a sponsorship agreement with Tadarong-owned RM Williams last week. Rugby union athletic authorities around the world have been partnering with private equity groups, with CVC establishing a strong commercial presence in the game. CVC is close to a deal with South African Rugby and signed a £365 million deal with the Six Nations, Europe's premier annual national rugby championship last year. Up next, tensions rise between the LA Times and its billionaire owner. A rookie reporter from the Los Angeles Times was working a weekend shift this past May and wrote a 190-word story on people suspected of stealing valuable watches before fleeing in a black Rolls-Royce. Activists were outraged by Jeong Park's piece. They were outraged not by the act, but by how the Times presented the West Hollywood episode. Online, supporters of slashing police funding dismissed it as a press release for law enforcement. But it was one activist who made heads turn around the newsroom. Nika Soon-Shiong, the 29-year-old daughter of Times owner Patrick Soon-Shiong, tweeted a scathing message atop a screenshot of Park's name in the article. The younger Soon-Shiong indicated in her piece, which has since been deleted, that the Times was helping to guard the Rolls-Royce and expensive watches, while turning a blind eye to the sheriff's department. The tweet immediately spread among newspaper employees, who were surprised that the ownership family would openly criticize a junior reporter. Finally, a Chinese crypto billionaire buys Asia's Fort Knox. Since the end of last year, the cryptocurrency market has been in a bearish trend. In the meantime, new participants such as institutions have been weary of getting involved. As a result, they've expanded their search beyond the crypto space. One such recent trend is the entry of Chinese crypto millionaire Jian Wu into the physical asset industry. BitDeer, Wu's crypto cloud mining service platform, has acquired Lee Freeport, a high-security storage and exhibition facility in Singapore. The corporation is said to have spent roughly $40 million to do this. The deal was private, according to unidentified sources. Wu purchased the fine art, precious stones, and gold and silver bars repository from shareholders led by Swiss art dealer and creator Yves Bouvier. Wu verified the purchase in a text message in response to inquiries. According to accounting regulator documents, the purchase was completed in July. The price Wu paid included a sharp discount on the $100 million cost of building Asia's Fort Knox. The new owners are truly committed to assisting the Freeport Group in developing and upgrading its facilities and services. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Gautam Adani surpassing Jeff Bezos as the world's second richest person? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.